aware that Ariel was sold to the defendant, Johnny Drake.
Where was he keeping Ariel?
In Queens, in an abandoned hospital basement. Ariel and 3 other underage girls were found locked up. They were drugged, beaten, and raped. This is a process used by sex traffickers called breaking in. The girls suffer physical and emotional torture, which basically destroys any impulse they have to fight back or escape.
Okay, and when you and the other detectives arrived at the scene, what happened?
We were able to rescue 3 of the girls. They all had injuries that were consistent with being brutally beaten. They had bruising, broken ribs, lacerations. We later found out that the girls were gang raped and tortured by Johnny D. and several of his pimps.
Your Honor, Exhibit A, the medical report on the victims. The ME and the girls will testify to what they suffered in Mr. Drake's custody. Tell us what happened next.
Well, we heard the sound of breaking glass, and when we ran down the hallway, we found Johnny D. attempting to escape with Ariel Thornhill as his hostage. He was holding a shard of glass to her neck. Eventually, he surrendered, at which time we placed him under arrest and read him his rights.
Do you see the man you apprehended in this courtroom today?
Yes, I do. He's right there.
Thank you, Sergeant Benson.
Afternoon, Sergeant Benson. Thank you for sparing the time. You're not just a sergeant at SVU, you're also foster mother to a toddler.
Your Honor, we have been over this. Sergeant Benson only
Gentlemen, approach. Now there's just the 3 of us. Mr. Barba.
Sergeant Benson only became aware that Mr. Drake was her son's birth father after he was in police custody.
But not after the investigation was completed. The ME's office's statement confirms that Sergeant Benson was informed one day after the arrest, which was before my client was even charged.
Completely irrelevant.
Well, not to my client. The jury's entitled to hear about Sergeant Benson's conflict of interest and possibly the DA's. When did you become aware of the child's parentage counseling?
Your Honor, that may fall under attorney-client privilege.
While you both are working on this case for the city of New York, I doubt that. But how about I spare you the embarrassment and possible ethical jeopardy of answering, and you agree to drop the objection on this line of questioning. Are we good?
Sergeant Benson, you are in the process of adopting your foster son, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And who did you disclose was the child's birth father to the agency?
Johnny Drake.
The defendant. The same man that you spent so much time singularly focused on investigating and apprehending.
And that had nothing to do with the paternity issue.
Well, you're trying to adopt this child. Is it fair to say that the father's right to custody could interfere with it?
Of course, it's possible, but it had
Is
nothing...
it also fair to say that it's in your best interest for my client to be found guilty?
My only interest is in making sure that a sadistic, violent sex trafficker be brought to justice.
Frankly, your anger seems personal to me.
Your Honor?
Withdrawn. Nothing further.
Sergeant Benson, you may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution would now like to
Actually,
call...
we'll recess for the day. Prosecution's case will continue at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Court is adjourned.
How's my son, Sergeant Benson?
That's enough, Drake.
I've seen pictures. I can't wait to meet him.
That's never gonna happen.